Hey, welcome everybody to Deals Chasing You. And we're talking to one of our members today who's absolutely crushing it in the St. Louis market. Shelby Reed is with us today. Shelby, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Max. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, I want to make sure everybody gets a little bit of understanding about your background and some of the things that you're working on and the success that you've had. So, Shelby, just real quick, why don't you tell us how you got involved in real estate?
Awesome. How I got involved in real estate. I've been involved in real estate really since I've been in college. My boyfriend then slash husband now, we started rehabbing our, the first home we ever moved into and purchased. And before then, I was just kind of I was always very passionate about home stuff, even before then. Just wasn't sure how it would fit into real estate. And once we kind of was able to I learned how to get my hands dirty a little bit and do a little sweat equity and understand and learn about construction and construction costs and repairs and all that kind of stuff. I really just kind of became obsessed with it, and I really haven't let go yet. So I've bounced around a few different careers since then, but then recently within the past 3 to 4 years, just been solely focused on the real estate aspect.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. And so what do you do specifically now in real estate?
I've got a few different ventures that I do. One that applies most importantly to the customers facing you and the home to home is the company we created about 2 years ago now. It's called Senior Living Experience. And what we do is we work with seniors and their families who are going through a downsizing transition into a senior living community. And we help support them from the real estate, which is such a huge piece of it because these people have lived in their homes for 30, 40, even 50 years. We work with people that live there that long, and getting past the concept of selling your home at the same time that you're also moving, which is such a huge undertaking, is really overwhelming for a lot of people, much less seniors in general. So our goal of what we do is we're trying to merge these two processes together. And by bringing together not only a move and a moving services, but also the real estate services with our brokerage and our real estate investment team as well. So we're really trying to make that process as smooth as we can by really, being that puppet string player to make sure that the inspections are hitting the right time and we're getting the right contract with the right close date, as well as that, is coinciding with the move date and the community's expectations of what gets moved and things like that.
That's great. For people who haven't worked a lot with senior homeowners, they're a very, very large, demographic. They have a lot of needs. So for folks who haven't ever worked with those, type of homeowners before, when you go into the home, what are some of the really unique challenges that these seniors are facing, and where is this, an opportunity for, real estate, brokers and agents and investors to help them and do well in their business?
Sure. That's a great question. I think a lot of their concerns are no different than any homeowner's concerns, but more specifically, as I just mentioned, they've lived there for a long time and they've accumulated a lot of stuff, just like any of us accumulate stuff. And their biggest hurdle is they know that they need to clean out or they know they need to move, but they physically cannot do it a lot of times. They cannot go down in the basement and up and down the steps 100 times to bring boxes up and bring boxes down. And, there's a lot of emotional, sentimental value to a lot of things. And so it's hard on an emotional standpoint as well. And it's nice to just have that person there to kind of walk through it with you if you don't have that family member there, to just, bounce things off of and make sure that, you're getting rid of the right things or you're packing the right things. And, as far as opportunities go, I think the biggest thing we've learned is just it's an emotional connection as much as it is a business professional relationship. So the biggest thing we've realized and learned and what we really enjoy doing is that personal relationship with the senior and the homeowner, and realizing that it's not just a move. This is a very unique move and a very complex move. And it comes from an emotional and physical and financial standpoint. So we really try to hit on all of those sides.
Awesome. So walk us through the process. Let's say that, that my grandma or now, it's getting to be my mom, right? Like she, I'm in a different state maybe. And I have a mom who's in your location in St. Louis, and she needs somebody to like go through all this. What happens from when, from first phone call or first visit, like kind of walk us through the process that y'all have.
Sure. So first phone call, we call them our pre-move call, or I'm sorry, we call them our initial in-home calls. That's just to introduce what we do. A lot of people don't know that we exist and that there is someone there to help them other than just a real estate agent or a mover. So we spend a lot of time just informing people of what we do and how we can help them and letting them know that, especially if it's a family member that lives in another state. A lot of times we're talking with that family member in addition to the senior. So what we do is we first like to talk with them and then book what we call an in-home consultation appointment, where we go into their home if they're comfortable. Obviously with COVID precautions right now, sometimes we do a FaceTime call or even just over the phone if the senior is not comfortable with us being in the home. But our move-in coordinators are always masked up, they're gloved up, so they're protecting everyone as much as they can. And we'll use that time to really meet with the senior, sit down. A lot of times we like to have an understanding at that point of what community they're moving into, what does their floor plan look like, so we can have a copy of that and bring it with us. And then that way we can actually use that when we walk around the house to say, okay, this is going to go, this is not going to go, this is going to fit, which really helps the homeowner to say, and in their mind, like, okay, like I can do this. Like I got this. Like I see the Post-it notes around my house, so I know what's going to go and what's not. And a lot of times we really see the light switch at that meeting, because it's just a relief to have some clarity. So from there, after that appointment, we like to then kind of shift into the real estate and then focus on that. And whether we'll most always bring in our real estate agent or agents that work on our team. There's 2 of them. They're SRES accredited, so they work exclusively with us, and they support our program and support our team. So they know what they're doing, and they're very good at it. So we like to bring them in next and let them meet with the family or meet with the homeowner and understand what their goals are, and both financially and then timeline, because they're also talking with us to make sure that they understand the move timeline. And we'll get situated as far as that goes and be able to provide, a value for that family also, to say a lot of times they don't know what the home is worth. And even though they've made this big commitment to move into a independent living or assisted living, sometimes they don't know yet how they're going to pay for it. So being able to sit down with that real estate agent and say, okay, my home is going to sell for $225,000. And I know that Mike's going to get it sold within probably 7 days, because that's our average days on market. So, that's a huge relief, because now they can go into that next meeting with the senior housing community and say, okay, I know how I'm going to pay for this, and I'm going to be able to move forward. And from there, it's just more of a logistical schedule where we come in, we do all the packing for the family. So we'll come in, we pack for them, we put their stuff in the big truck, and we move it to the community. And then we'll have our unpackers come over also and do some unpacking for them as well. So, and then we'll close on their house. So, which typically they like to do the day of the move, if not the next day, just so it's where they're getting the funds and they're able to pay for their living if that's how they choose to use it.
Sure. Yeah, it sounds like leaving for college, like it's a huge deal. Like there's so many things going on. There's emotions everywhere. It's not just like, going from your first house to your second house where you got a lot of energy and you're in your 20s or 30s and you barely even have any stuff. This is like there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of emotions, the energy's maybe lower, the physical mobility's lower, and the support structure is, there's not as much around. And so y'all come in really and fill in all the gaps for these folks.
That's the goal. I mean, we just really saw a need while we were working on the real estate side of working with seniors who were struggling with that, next transition. They know they want to get out of their house. They know their house is too much for them to take care of. They know it's not a safe place, but that transition is so overwhelming when you're in place A, and Z is where you got to get to. So, we do this every day. We've done just under 200 moves. So we know we're able to provide some, hand holding along the way and some tips and tricks. And we're able to help people really understand that they can do it and we can help them get there.
Wonderful. Now, how often does the senior homeowner need help finding a new place to live? Like by the time they call you, do they already have a place identified? Or sometimes, do you steer them in that direction or connect them to some resources for that?
Both. We've had both situations. We have a lot of families already knowing where they're going, which is great. And then we have some families that don't know yet. And we work with a really, really great community or organization here in St. Louis that has a few different communities. And we love introducing them to them just because they're our go-to. And we've been able to successfully introduce a senior to a community and they've moved in, and it's a complete full circle process, which is amazing because we initially got introduced to them just because we knew they wanted to sell their house, but they knew they were kind of looking at senior housing, but they weren't sure. And so for them to then be able to have a little bit of that introduction, they took it from there and have moved, and it's been really great for them.
Wonderful. Well, let's talk about, we have folks all the time, families who are not sure. It sounds like it's pretty cool. Y'all have the opportunity to list their house or just buy it outright. Is that correct?
Correct. We have our brokerage, Core Realty, which has Mike Luntz and Dan Adams. There are two real estate agents that work with us on the team. And then we also have the investment side as well, Core Properties, who where we can bring in the investment, the as-is home buyers as well.
And so we know that the situation, there's so many different factors and variables, but what just generally kind of rule of thumb, like how do people decide between one or the other? Go with a real estate agent or just sell the house as is?
Mm-hmm. A lot of times it's an easy decision. A lot of times we'll start with our real estate agents and bring them in first. Because they are on our team, they're so familiar with values and pricing and repairs. And we always, our goal is to obviously support the family in whatever decision they make, but typically we want to get them the most money for their house, right? I mean, that's the end goal with the least amount of heartache and stress to go with it. But, right. The goal is to get the most money. So we don't care which way, but we want to be able to present both options. And a lot of times our real estate agents, Mike and Dan, they're able to almost provide both of those at that appointment, where they come in and we call it a price opinion report, where they're coming in and they're meeting with the family and sharing the values with them. And they're able to say, here's the comps and with the condition of your home, it looks really great that we could list it and sell it and get this price. Or if there's some major repairs that are needed to be made, they're going to say, hey, I would really advise you on speaking with our acquisition, our as-is team as well. You might not get as much, but it's going to be a lot better of a process. And I don't know if it's really going to save you much money on the other side.
Right.
And some families just want to press the easy button. And that's what we call it the easy button. So some families just want to press that button, and to know that option is there is very valuable. And it might not work out for everyone, but the few or whoever it does work out for them. And it's a great resource.
Wonderful. So if somebody's, watching this and they're thinking about, giving y'all a call to help, what areas, like communities, do you serve, and who's, kind of an ideal candidate for your services?
So right now we're in the St. Louis, Missouri area. So throughout the metropolitan St. Louis area, we're helping. And as far as anyone that is a likely candidate, it would just be a senior who is looking to do a downsizing transition. And that doesn't necessarily have to be to a community, although most of our seniors do move to a senior living community. We've done a few moves that they're downsizing to an apartment, or a 1-2 bedroom home, and that's okay too. But it would be someone who ideally has lived in their home for quite a while and wants to be able to sell it and get the most money out of that home sale so they can take it on to their next transition.
Absolutely. So I want to focus a little bit, the next question on you a little bit. Congratulations on becoming a published author. That's very
Thank
exciting.
you.
What made you to decide to go in that route, and how has that been able to benefit, your business, and how have you been able to use that tool, for your customers and your community?
Mm-hmm. Well, we really wanted to have something to share with our customers to provide information for them. Because, like I said, we're doing this every day and we've learned so much in our history now, up to 200 moves is almost what we've done. So we've learned so much, and to be able to, we wanted to have something to share information, make it a valuable resource for them so they're able to take it home with them, work through the workbook, read through the book, put pen to paper, and really think about it, and know that we're here to be a resource for them, or a question and answer type setting. But we really just wanted to share the information.
Wonderful. Yeah. And it looks great. I mean, it's awesome. What's been the perception like when you give people your book, when you give people your workbook? What's the reaction from, your customers and the community?
It's been really positive. People have really liked the book. They really enjoy the workbook as well. It's been, it's just helpful for them the workbook provides great questions and proposes different situations and circumstances that they might be faced with. And so it helps prepare them a little bit. And that's a lot of the feedback of what we've heard, is it gives them a starting place so that they're not just going into this blind. It gives them information and somewhere to just start, and have a list of 3 questions to ask the community sales counselor when you're meeting with them next Thursday. So it's been very positive.
Good. Well, y'all are doing incredible work and running an incredible business. So I know a lot of folks who are watching this are going to want to, get in touch with you. So what's the best way that they can reach out?
I would definitely say check out our website, is seniorlivingexp.com. And then from there, we're on all the social channels, or they can reach out to me directly, which is my email is just shelbyr@seniorlivingexp.com. But you'll be able to find me on any of our social, we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and as well as if you just check out our website, that would be a great place to start and just find some basic information. And the link to the book, to download the book, is there as well. So if you're interested in that, you're able to download a free copy directly there as well.
Wonderful. Well, if you're watching this and you're looking for a trusted expert in St. Louis that can help your family navigate this whole journey, not just one part of the journey, but the whole thing from start to finish, I highly recommend Shelby and her entire team. You guys are doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work, and we'd love to. I'll put all your contact information down below so people can reach out. And looking forward to hearing about more success in the future, and love to have you back on real soon. Sound good?
Awesome. Thanks, Max. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, bye, everybody. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you again soon.